Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new Tesla update video. In this one, as usual, we're going to go over the market, see what happens, see what we have in store for us tomorrow to close off the week, because tomorrow is, of course, already Friday. Again, a shortened week. And yeah, let's just talk about essentially, how it's looking. But other than that, if you enjoy the video, whatever, all that stuff, you guys know what to do. Don't forget to hit that like. It does help quite a bit. Make sure you subscribe, all of that stuff. But nonetheless, Tesla ending the day just a tad down at down 0.44%, which puts us at $705.15. However, with that being said, I'm actually feeling very damn bullish. I want to go ahead and explain to you guys why that is. So, I think this right here should be enough proof as to why that is, but we'll talk about it regardless. There's a few different things that we should discuss here. Why I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Essentially, what I wanted to see happened in a pretty perfect way, and yeah, it's exactly what I talked about the other day. So, let's go over it. On the daily, you can see it is a red candle, but nonetheless, it is a hammer candle, though it's red. So, that's not really the main bullish part. The main bullish part is how I talked about how if we do snap 700, I said how at most I want to see sub 700. I want to see like no more than like a day, roughly, right? Even better, we came down here twice during the day, or during today, like the trading day. And both times we got absorbed back up. Unfortunately, we did make a slightly lower high in these two situations, but the point is the fact that we pretty much double bottomed right around this kind of 687 level. We double bottom, came down, beautiful candle of buying pressure, came down again. What looked to be a little more aggressive of selling pressure over here, looked a little bit less hopeful, but then you can see on the 15-minute chart, maybe even the 30-minute looks even better. But the point is the fact that you can see how we pretty much got absorbed both times around this level, and the buyers heavily stepped in and just pushed it right back up pretty much instantly, which is beautiful. We didn't touch exactly 680, but we got pretty close. 685 to like 690 is obviously really, really close. But the main thing is the fact that I said how I don't want to drop below 680. And, even if we come down to 680, that's fine. If we come below 700, that's fine. But I want to see buying pressure really step in. Exactly what happened today. Pretty much to the T, like picture perfect, I would say. Like straight textbook, which is beautiful. I love to see this kind of stuff. So I'm feeling extremely bullish about that. Unless some major like unforeseen catalyst comes out of nowhere, I'm feeling fantastic about this. And I think that, the level I was talking about, which is around, the high 700s, like the very high 700s, I think is very much in play now. So on top of that, pretty much what happened yesterday and the day before, we had some great buying pressure, but, some selling pressure came in, they kind of stopped the bulls a little bit. This time we had the flip. We had some, bears come in, sell it all the way back down, and we had the bulls really step in as well, which is great. Shows a little bit of indecisiveness when you see these kind of candles, which also usually means that there's going to be an explosion, an explosive move coming really soon once. It's essentially a tug of war. Think of it that way. Right now, we see essentially a tug of war of the bears fighting back the bulls here, and then the bulls fighting back the bears here, right? A tug of war, and once one of the ends lets go, is going to explode in whichever side wins, which I still personally believe strongly that the bulls are going to win this current tug of war happening right now, which will push us all the way up somewhere in this level up here, again, the high 700s. Now, on top of that, of course, one of the main things to look at, so very first and foremost, the EMA, we're still below it. That to me is still something that we really want to close above. If we can close above that, like a nice closure too, that would be like essentially the cherry on the cake. But for now, what we have is the Bollinger Band. You can see getting supported by it beautifully still, ending pretty much right at the white line. We did go well below it, but we got sucked back up, and now we're still ending above it, which is fantastic. I like to see that. On top of that, we also have the 5-day moving average bouncing almost directly off of that. But more importantly, I would even argue, is the 10-day moving average, which is essentially sitting pretty much exactly at that 680 level that I really want to hold. But not only did we break above the 10-day moving average over here, but we held it for 2 days. And we not only came down, but we retested it successfully, didn't fall below it. And this retest was also essentially a retest of the breakout from this yellow trend line that we were in, as you can see over here. So essentially today was one of those days where the bears had one final chance, in my opinion. Of course, I could be wrong, not financial advice, but in my opinion, the way I see it is the bears had a final chance to make this fall apart, and this was their chance. And unfortunately for them, they failed. And fortunately for the bulls, they did not succeed, right? So essentially to me, this was just like a day of retesting the breakouts, retesting to confirm new old resistance as new support. So far, so good. So far, it looks very promising. The fact that we bounced directly off of these levels that I talked about, and even better, the cherry on the cake is ending the day above 700 is pretty much exactly what I would want to be seeing at the very moment, which of course is very, very good. On top of that, we also had a slight bullish divergence. You can see the RSI over here made a low of 29 once we dropped all the way down to about 687, and then we dropped a slightly lower to about 685 almost, but the RSI made a slightly higher low, which is like a slight bullish divergence there, which is great as well. So all in all, I have to say, I'm liking the way it's looking. I'm liking the way we're seeing, Tesla play out here. I'm feeling pretty good. That doesn't necessarily mean that tomorrow we're going to skyrocket, but it is possible. But I did say how I wouldn't be surprised if Thursday is the day where, we potentially have the drop down to retest these breakouts. I think I said that on Tuesday, maybe yesterday, but I think it was Tuesday. And then Friday could potentially be a green day, when then Monday, like I always say, Mondays usually rhyme with Fridays. Monday could also be the next follow through as well, and we can skyrocket up to somewhere around here within, honestly, next week at this point. I wouldn't be too surprised. Would be a little surprised if it just happens just straight tomorrow, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is sometime next week. In fact, I'm actually expecting it to be sometime next week. So that's my current analysis on this. Now, to make this even better, to make this even more, I guess, potentially healthy, is of course we have the SPY. Now the SPY ending the day at 378, right? Now the reason that's important is because you can see here on the top left, the 10-day moving average, which, again, is pretty important to, make sure we stay over. You can see what happened last time we went over it. We essentially shot back up. We ended above it, which is fantastic. Not like crazy above it, but above it. It's 378, the closure, but the 10-day moving average is at 377.94. So just very slightly above it, but above it nonetheless, which so far is not bad. You can see the RSI is getting, is pretty much touching this point right here exactly. So we want to see just a tiny bit more strength shown tomorrow. And if we can see that, which I think we will, because this candle is a beautiful looking hammer candle. I think the QQQ is looking like pretty beautiful. Yeah, decent looking hammer candle as well in the QQQ. The indices are looking wonderful. The indices look like they want to run. And yeah, I don't know. Pretty much like everything that I'm seeing right now, you can see the QQQ also above the 10-day moving average pretty much got rejected or supported as we fell down. Ended above it as well. QQQ actually looking even more bullish, I would even argue. You can see it's now poking over here as well. So guys, all in all, I have to say there's a lot of things, in my opinion, of course, not financial advice, that are pointing to the fact that the market is ready to get a quick rip and finalize this bear rally. Now, keep in mind, again, I want to specify this. I do think this is just a bear rally. The only thing, in my opinion, that would invalidate that as a bear rally and potentially an actual overall market reversal would be a breakthrough of so the first and foremost, you definitely want to see a break above this high right here, which is about 793. That's number one. But even more importantly, what you would want to see is a break above 800, closure above 800 on the daily for a few days in a row. If we can see that, then we can maybe talk about a potential reversal. But until that happens, I don't think it's going to be something that, is worth discussing. Because ultimately, I personally still think that we are in this bear flag that we're setting up over here ultimately. So unless this rally coming up can somehow pretty much like convince me that that's not the case anymore, that's, then we'll discuss the fact that maybe this is an ultimate reversal. Who knows? Maybe we won't go even lower, though I think that's pretty improbable or unlikely. And then the final thing, of course, the RSI you can see here is looking pretty juicy. It's like, it's well above the moving, the average here on the RSI. It's looking like it wants to rally. It's looking like it's setting up similar highs over here, even though this, again, like I said before, was an overall higher area. Even though the stock did fall, the RSI barely fell at all. It's pretty much like flat, just very slightly pointing downwards, but barely at all. Yeah, and all in all, guys, I'm liking the way it's looking. I'm feeling bullish. I'm feeling confident. Today was a beautiful day to really confirm if this breakout is a real breakout or just a fake out. I'm liking it. We had a closure above the breakout. We had another day above the breakout. We had a day of retest, and absolutely to perfection, I would even say almost, a retest of the breakout and the moving averages that are important to hold. And yeah, I'm feeling good, guys. I'm feeling bullish. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling like we're going to look for some beautiful green days coming up. Maybe tomorrow, but most likely next week as well. And yeah, overall price target, assuming this holds and we don't break below 700 again, or especially 680, is of course going to be the high 700s to potentially even maybe tapping 800. That is my current projection. We'll see how it plays out. Not financial advice, of course. Make sure you guys do your own research, due diligence, make your own decisions with your money. I don't care what you do with your money. Not my business, not my decisions. So make sure you do that yourself, of course. I'm not giving any advice here, just my thoughts out loud, I guess. But other than that, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you guys for tomorrow's update. Peace.